I can annoy you, and instead of coming to me and telling me, oh, by the way, Nelly, this wasn't really right. And instead of saying that to me, now you got your status. You got your status.
Best example ever.
Exactly, you got your status and you rant.
And you said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
When you've catch yourself oversharing. You have not put a limit to what you get to share. So because somebody has shared something which is emotional and it has also reminded you of your part which is also emotional, it doesn't mean that you also have to share something from your emotional experiences.
Hi loves, welcome back to the Isha Gishan's experience with me, your host Isha Gishan. I'm so excited to be on your screen again. Thank you so much for clicking, and thanks to all of you that keep bombing me with all the comments with so much love. I really do appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. In last week's experience, you guys really loved it. You guys really talked about the different types of boundaries, and some of you were concerned about how to know whether you are really setting the right boundaries or not, and then some of you wanted to know why some of your boundaries are not working. So I decided to bring us the expert again in these things to come and expound on core boundaries. How you can tell that your boundaries, you're not setting the right boundaries. Okay? I hope you guys really love this experience as well. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, do everything that is amazing. And let's get into today's video. So, sweethearts, you're most welcome again on the experience. My experience has really loved you last time.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. I love you too.
Yes. So today we want to listen more on how someone can tell that Bambi, their boundaries are not working. Yes. So once again, introduce yourself to those that are seeing you for the very first time and tell us what you do.
Okay.
Start from there.
Okay. A disclaimer. She keeps on saying, I brought for you an expert, Guys, we are human beings experiencing life. And so we just have to approach life the way it presents itself.
That's true.
So yes, my name is Nelly O, and I also run a YouTube channel, which is Elevation Chapter. You can also dash there and see what I do. I do more of personal development. I love people. So I am a human connection advocate. I love seeing people coordinating together perfectly, working together in a seamless manner. You know, I know definitely that is really hard, but then we know through my channel, we get to know how to handle things. And one of them is indeed boundaries. Setting boundaries. So today, I like the fact that you thought about the whole idea of us looking at the fact that you have set boundaries, but hell, they are not working.
I know, right? And it can really get frustrating if you've set boundaries and they're not working. So you're like, oh my God, how do I go about this? I want to develop myself. I want to really work on myself, but then looks like the things that I have set are not working. So I want you to expound today and tell us, how do I know my boundaries are not working?
Sure. That's a very, very good question. And I can imagine your shaggy shans.
My experience.
Your experiences are going through the same thing. Okay. It's really daunting, especially if you have been suffering from a certain aspect of life and you really have put boundaries and you know, oh my goodness, now I am conquering this. And all of a sudden it's not working out for you. That's not nice. I can feel that. I know I've gone through the same, so I think I will share that.
Okay.
But first, not directly. Not directly.
It's all good.
Yes. We have people who are usually bothered by comments. Comments from other people.
Yes, that's true.
You know, maybe like you guys, who are YouTubers, content creators, you put out something and then you see a comment somewhere and it really gets to your nerves.
I know, there are those comments that really turn you off and they're like, really? And then they just kill your day. In our previous video, in fact, if you haven't watched it, please watch it first. The types of boundaries. We were talking about the fact how you need to know yourself first. Like, first know who you are so that you're able to set the boundaries and then you move on. So once you have set a boundary and now you still have the comments that come in and put you off or get your nerves, that means that you have not known who you are, because some things are not supposed to bother you at all. Once you know who you are and
and somebody says something, you know, that definitely that is not me.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
cannot get
To
it,
you.
it doesn't even have a single pinch on you. Like you're in a safe space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I usually give, I think I've given this example on my channel. Give an example of, for instance, if this is a mainland and we cross over to the island.
Okay.
If you cross over to the island and you've left the mainland and then you cross over, you're right there and you see it raining on the mainland and
Yeah.
it's not raining on the island, you shouldn't get wet.
Yeah. You definitely
Why should you get
to-
wet?
Yeah,
It's
you-
raining the other end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why do you need to get wet?
Yeah.
It's shining where you at. So it's the same.
Wow.
That comment shouldn't get you because you know who you are. You're in a space that is way, it has its own environment.
Yes, yes.
So if you know that comments, people's comments, I mean, from your friends, from your relatives, from
your
your workmates, from, I don't know, even strangers,
Yeah.
they should never get to you because you know who you are, because you've set your boundaries and you've set your safe space for yourself.
Okay.
So that's one. Has
Okay.
that happened to you?
Yes, 100%. Before,
Yeah,
like
uh,
in my journey before
yeah.
I had set up these boundaries and all that, so many different comments used to really trigger me.
Yeah.
Like they used to be so annoying and all that. But it's until I started setting up boundaries and doing the self work, like inner work, and knowing
Yes.
that, you know what, Sharon, you are this, you are good at this, you're not good at this, you are like, you look like this. Because there's so many different things. People have comments about
Everything, yeah.
how you look, how you talk, literally everything. Even when you feel like, really?
Yeah.
Like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
But it's until I set up those boundaries, just like you said,
Yeah.
that, sweetheart, there is nothing you're going to tell me that I don't know about myself.
Exactly.
You get
So
it.
once you don't know who you are, then
Yeah.
those comments easily sway you off.
Yeah.
So that means that you are not as you are not in a safe space for you to create boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
go do some job.
Yeah.
You have a lot to do.
Yeah. If comments are still turning you off,
Yeah.
you
A lot
just do
of
that
work has
job.
to be done
Thank you.
inside you.
Absolutely.
Inside of you, yeah, you have to do
Yeah.
a lot of work. And another thing is the fear. People fear confrontation.
Yes.
If you have known that this does not serve me, you speaking out, coming to me, like you come at me loudly or
Yeah.
you scold me or you do what, and I've told you before this should not happen, and then you say it again and I don't come to you and say, by the way, ABCD happened. You
Yeah.
confront the act, so that the actor can know the action was not good.
Yeah.
So if you have the fear to come out people and tell them, oh, fear of confrontation is one thing that is making you not have straightforward boundaries. And so I can give an example. I can annoy you, and instead of coming to me and telling me, oh, by the way, Nelly,
You did this.
this wasn't really right. You did. I mean,
Yeah,
it
like
was
you
low,
overdid
way,
it.
way,
It
way
wasn't-
below the
yeah,
belt.
it wasn't
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah. And instead of saying that to me, now you go to your status. You go to your
That's the best
status.
example ever.
Exactly. You go to your status and you rant.
And you said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Those funny quotes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Or any
yes.
other social media platforms,
Yeah.
and you transfer your aggression to that
Yeah,
side.
instead of
It's-
coming to
yeah.
confront a person who annoyed you.
I will not know.
Yeah.
And I'll keep
absolutely.
doing it. And
That's
your
true.
boundaries will not do anything for you.
That's true. Wow.
So face
Yeah.
your confrontation. I mean, getting the courage to confront people
Yeah.
and serve yourself.
That's so true. If
Yeah.
you don't like something, come on, tell the person that has annoyed you. You know, it really makes life easier for
Yeah.
you. That way, I feel like also once you tell people, like it makes it easier for you. You let that off your shoulder, and you're like, you know what? After all, I told them. Because the more you don't tell them, you're going
Yeah.
to remain with this grudge. Oh my god, that person just keeps annoying me. Even when they do something when maybe it was out of good faith, but
Yes.
because you still have that thing that you didn't confront,
Yeah.
you're still going to be like, ah, man, I hate this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. I really love that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another point.
Another one is when you catch yourself oversharing because you were that before and you
Yeah.
still do it.
Yeah.
Like you have not put a limit to what you get to share
Ooh,
to people or with people.
corporate.
So, I mean, you have said, okay, I have put boundaries. I don't need to be sharing this stuff about myself. I don't need to. And then before you know it, you're again oversharing and you catch yourself in the middle of, oh my goodness, I should not
Yeah.
have said this. I should not have said that.
Yeah.
So they are not working because you again let yourself to share so much.
Okay,
So
that's a
if
bit
you're,
tricky.
yeah. Now, I love these things.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I like it because I mean I'm like a living example of all these things because I've lived them.
Okay.
I also used to overshare, okay, to a few people, not really very many. And what happened is that I started developing myself, especially with my conversational skills.
Okay.
In conversations, a few of us are really present. A few of us are really present in the
That is
conversation.
true, absolutely.
So once you're present in the
98%.
conversation and you're actively listening and going, following everything, you have a meaningful conversation, but also you know what to share and what not to share.
Okay.
You don't catch yourself off guard, dwelling off and saying things that you're not supposed to be saying. So because somebody has shared something which is emotional and it has also reminded you of your part which is also emotional, it doesn't mean that you also have to share something from your emotional experiences.
On the other hand, I would think if someone shares something, let's say, I don't want to use my experience the most, but then you guys need authenticity here.
Okay.
Like, let's say someone is coming to me telling me about an imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Do you know imposter syndrome?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So they come to me telling me they've gone through a certain period in their lives where they went through that phase. So, and I also feel like since I've gone through it, I need to also tell you, oh, I've actually also been there.
Yeah.
In other words, you're saying it shouldn't be right for me to tell you that I have been there.
No.
For me to give you.
Is it your boundary? Do you want to share that part of your life?
In that moment, okay. No,
that's the thing.
In that moment, I would feel like, oh my God, the only way I can be there for this person is by telling them I've also been through it. So, me telling you my point of view, you could kind of get where I'm coming from because I've been, for some reason.
Okay,
I
understand.
You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people listen to us. Most people listen to people that have been in a particular experience like them. They won't take advice from someone because they're like, this one doesn't even know they don't know that things have gone through, so they only want to listen to people who have gone through an experience. I don't know if I'm making sense. Yeah.
I think you are, and I believe there are very many out there who are also in your position.
Yeah.
So when it comes to boundaries, you set boundaries of what stories you want to share about your life, what stories you don't want to share about your life. If it's about, for instance, somebody sharing with you their challenges with imposter syndrome, it doesn't mean, and the imposter syndrome to you is not where your boundary is. It is okay to share. But even if it is a space or a topic or is part of your life that is exactly what they are going through, maybe they say still use the same imposter syndrome, and you have gone through that, but still you've told yourself, I don't want to share this part of my life with anybody else. It does not mean that you have to come openly and share that ABCD has happened with me. You can still give them counsel and help them out and tell them, by the way, this happens to very many people. By the way, you can even impersonate yourself and say, oh, I had a friend of mine who was very close, but you don't make somebody know that this is you. You understand? If specifically you don't want that part of your life to be out there, it doesn't necessarily have to be that, definitely. It can be any other thing, but then you just talk about yourself, but talk about yourself in someone else's life. You understand?
Yes.
Or you can just give any other example or any other person, and then to make sure that you still help them heal. Calm their nerves down, give them hope, encourage them.
I love that.
It calls for presence. Because if it's not that, immediately you feel the trigger to share your experience immediately. Yet that particular experience is what you told yourself, I'm not going to share this out to people. Boundaries, guys. Boundaries.
Wow. Wow, this topic is really in depth here, and I myself personally am very intrigued on hearing some stuff because I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't really see it in that angle. So if you're out there and you're listening to this, I really hope you're enjoying this conversation. I hope you're picking something that you're going to take on in life, to conquer different things here and there. I spoke about, for the ladies that want to level up in their journeys, about how them keeping some things to themselves. Because not everyone is your friend. Whether you like it or not, we are living in a world where we have so many people that know us, but then you can never tell whether this person is your actual friend or not your friend. So when you're sharing your things out there, please don't overshare.
Even the ones you call your friends are not your friends.
Just try and catch yourself whenever you feel like you're going to overshare. You're like, Sharon, nope. That's not a good thing.
I saw something recently. Social media is going to be one of our
Yeah.
killing pills of
I know.
in
Social
these
media.
times.
Yeah.
So those, I don't know if you saw this meme of these guys are, we need to be given some friendship allowances because
I know the things that we are.
the things that you get to share with us
They're just too much. That is so true.
yeah, that means you're
Yeah.
oversharing. You're
Yeah.
oversharing, and if you're oversharing to some people who don't even care what you're
Yeah.
going through.
Yeah.
So,
In other words, people need to know the people that they're supposed to share to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you really can't be there and you have
Yeah.
all this baggage on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing, once you catch yourself overwhelmed, this is another thing when you know that my boundaries are not working. Why am I still struggling? When you find yourself overwhelmed almost all the time.
Oh,
like there's
wow.
so much to do because you have said yes to almost everything.
Wow.
So the power of no is not in your vocabulary at all. Now, that gets you to get overwhelmed terribly.
Yes.
So start using or be comfortable to say no.
Yeah.
And no to the things that used to serve you way back. But you have already set your boundaries and you feel like this doesn't serve me any longer. And it's okay for me to say no.
Okay. You shouldn't be ashamed of saying no. Like feeling like in other words, there is this saying that I had. There is a podcast that I really, really love. I don't know if you know them, the TMI podcast, they are Kenyan.
Yeah, sure I do.
They said if I have to be like if you're put into a situation where one person has to feel bad,
Yeah.
make sure you're not the one feeling bad. If it's uncomfortable, I'm going to choose you feeling uncomfortable over me. That is how, in other words, if
you're
anything,
choosing you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if anything,
I
I'm
need
going
to be
say
sane.
no. Like, I'm choosing my happiness, my sanity over telling you yes. No,
Yes.
no.
Exactly.
So, yeah. In
Yeah.
other words,
And it cuts across to all environments that you're in.
work,
Your family, and
relationship.
actually your family most times they
I know.
they abuse that.
I was supposed to be like family.
Yes.
Family
Yes.
is a very tricky situation.
I know,
but
it's
I think that
sensitive.
would be a topic for another time.
It's sensitive.
Family, I'm
It's
sure.
sensitive, but bottom line, just start getting comfortable with saying no.
Yeah.
No, and choosing yourself, because when you say no, then you're choosing yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's so true.
don't be
That's so true.
overwhelmed. When
Yeah.
if you find that you're getting overwhelmed somehow, just know, and you've already set your boundaries ain't working just because you're a yes
I
person.
know. Like you're a people pleaser in other words.
Yeah,
'cause
sure.
most people that really say yes all the time
Yes.
are people pleasing.
Yes.
So catch yourself and make sure you're not that person. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then another thing is feeling guilty.
Feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're guilty, you feel guilty and you feel anxious.
What?
Every time because you've set boundaries and you feel, okay, I set this boundary, but I think it's overpressing Sharon.
Yeah.
And so you feel like, oh my goodness, I think it's too
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah.
No, it's not harsh, baby.
Wow.
It's not harsh.
Okay, now that I'm a bit triggered because sometimes I feel guilty for certain things. You know, sometimes you may do something and you're like, I must have overdone it to this person.
Yeah.
But okay. I'm
Yeah,
learning
you
that
shouldn't feel like that because that's
your boundary.
That's your boundary.
Yeah, that's my safe space.
Get comfortable with it first. Get comfortable with it and know the outcomes anyway. That you're going to do this, and for a fact, people are not going to be comfortable at the beginning. But
Yeah.
later on they will know. This is how Sharon is treated, because you remember you're the one to tell people how to treat you.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really love to hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think it goes back to the law of attraction somewhere, somehow. Like, you're the one to tell people how they should treat you.
Yeah.
Don't let them just step on your toes every
Exactly.
now and
Direct
Okay.
direct them where to step, where to go, how to speak to you. That's how it's supposed to be. So once you direct them and then you feel like, oh my goodness, I direct them badly, that means you're not as yet comfortable with your boundaries.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really learning so
You
much
shouldn't be
today.
anxious. I mean, you've already told yourself, for me to self-love, to have this whole self-love and appreciate the space I'm in, I should be treated this way.
Yeah.
And then if someone treats you that way, you feel like, oh my goodness, I think I should have maybe softened it a bit.
Yeah.
No.
There
No.
is no softening here in that.
Yeah. So long as it's serving you right and you know it is not doing any harm to another person.
Yeah.
It's not
But again,
harm.
sometimes harm in terms of physical harm.
Yeah, like
or
physical
emotional
harm or no physical harm really.
Yeah.
Emotional harm, but the emotion definitely with boundaries people
Yeah, you
are
definitely have to
affected
step
emotionally.
That's true.
but they learn to know this is how it is and then they switch it because I mean all of us are on the journey of knowing how to treat our emotions. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Woo. That was a that,
Are
that
you
was
anxious?
that was a difficult one to take in because for
Oh, goodness.
not really only content creation but even at work, there's some people that, especially for people that are very timid, people that are not self-aware.
Yeah.
They take you, if you are self-aware and then you happen to interact with someone that maybe is not self-aware, there's a way it makes you feel guilty sometimes after telling this person like, no, I don't like that or something like that. But now today I know that it's a poor boundary and I'm going to work on that, guys. Yeah.
And I think of course it also comes out on how you assert your boundaries to people.
Okay.
That's why in setting boundaries, it starts with lining all like you list all the boundaries.
Yeah.
Sit and list all your boundaries. And then you get to the stage of communicating your boundaries and you get to the stage of being consistent with your boundaries. So the stage of communicating your boundaries is when you know how do I speak to, because the personalities are different.
Exactly.
Now, when you talk about people who are not self-aware, you know how you will talk to them about you will not talk to me the same way you will talk to another
Yes,
person.
absolutely.
Yeah. So guys, people that have set boundaries
Yeah.
have gone through self-awareness exercises.
Yes.
And so they know not everyone out there is self-aware, but also they are present in the moment of knowing that I need to, when I'm speaking to somebody like in this kind of personality, I need to tone my voice like this, or I need to bring in some sort of
to
stories
make
or
them-
examples to make sure that I communicate the
right-
message is there, is received.
Yes.
So you don't have just to bump into everyone and say this is you should you
Yeah.
should treat me like this. No way. You don't,
Yeah.
and you're not going to assemble people up and you say, by the way,
This is
starting
our-
from today. No, that's not how it is. You
Yeah,
tell
someone
people
else
about
will
your
think-
boundaries in
Yeah.
the real event of the action when it's
Yeah.
happening,
Yes.
but then you also find out how you communicate to them. So don't make any suicides with the boundaries. Yeah,
Oh my God,
yeah.
it's
Don't be
like-
funny about this whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
You need to take time and learn yourself, get
Yeah.
sure the things that work for you,
Yeah.
what doesn't work for you,
Yeah.
how you feel as well.
Yeah.
Some places you be there and you feel like, this is a bit uncomfortable, this is not my kind of place.
Yeah.
And just respect your own boundaries as well.
Exactly.
Surely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and maybe the last one that I can share with us is
Yeah.
being indecisive.
Being indecisive, but
Yeah.
I feel like almost everyone is indecisive in one way or the other. Right?
How do you mean?
Let's say, what's the best example I can give? Let me think. I'm trying to think so deep about this.
Okay, so there's a one that just passes, which is very normal. Like you're undecided. Should I wear this or should I wear that? I think that's a normal thing. But when you find you're being indecisive and it's like it has become chronic for you, especially with your friends, you're a yes person every time,
Yes.
and you just find yourself. It tags along with saying no, because indecisiveness usually comes to you because people want you to be almost what they are.
What they are. 100. Like every time you're different, they're like,
Yeah.
why is she the way she is? Like,
Yeah.
why?
And-
And always went, yeah.
And when you're in that body of the person for a long time,
Yeah.
it's very hard to come out of it.
True.
Very. And so that's where the indecisiveness comes in. Because you have already chosen yourself, but then you're struggling to maintain the boundary because you're indecisive with your gang of friends because you don't want to lose this one.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that one.
Yeah.
You want to be there. Or I want to go there.
It's not
I
even
also want
only
to do
friendships,
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah, even in red,
Like
of course. That's a mile. That's a mile. I don't wanna
like,
check.
I know, and no, but there's so many people that have multiple dates, right? Okay, I think I might be going off topic a bit, but it's necessary. There is this. I listen to so many podcasts and so many motivational speakers, and
Okay.
here and there. They keep saying for the ladies, you need to date as much as possible. Date, as in keyword here is date.
date, yeah.
Do not what? Sleep with them.
Yeah.
You are dating. So let's say you have about 5 guys that you are dating. How are you able to put up the boundaries and come up with the right decision that this one is, I don't know, like this one I'm going to go for this one vis-a-vis this one vis-a-vis, like, because people are different. So many people have different things with them, like you might like something from this. Okay, I'm trying to bring in that. I don't know if the example is really making sense, but
Okay.
in regard to that whole indecisiveness.
Okay, I think, like I said earlier, in real life, human beings, on a daily, we
Yeah.
really make a gazillion decisions.
Yeah.
From straight away when you wake up,
Wake
you're
up.
like, should I wait for 5 more minutes or should I, you know? So really, we everything we interact with,
Revolves
we have to make a decision in
Absolutely.
some way or the other.
Yes.
So I think that is just an event of to make a decision, just particularly for that particular thing of, okay, I have these boyfriends. Those are just the other decisions. With boundaries, it's just about you, which boundaries you've set with those all relationships. I don't think it runs directly into what I'm trying to talk about, the indecisiveness, because the indecisiveness really is, like I said, it's a bit chronic. Like it's been there all over and over again.
again.
But that one, you can just decide to, end your relationships and then you're good to
Move
go.
to-
I mean, it's just temporal. But for you, this has always been like your life. You
like
have your
all the
girlfriends,
time.
you have these activities, for instance, that you do, like maybe you like clubbing, maybe you like drinking, maybe you like go
to
swimming,
church.
you like, there's some also positive things that you get to do,
Yeah.
but then they become negative because you're
Overly.
overdone it. Yeah. So it's that indecisiveness that comes in with how do I maintain, for instance, if I've said no, I'm not going to be joining these guys again, what do I do now? But then because of what it used to give you, that
Yeah,
satisfaction, that gratification, the
exactly.
joy, the fun that you think about, you imagine
Thank
it, you're
you.
like, I gotta be there. Whoosh!
Exactly.
When they call,
find
you go.
yourself, wow.
They do this, you say yes. So you find even the no that you had told yourself, I'm going to say no to these activities. You find yourself there.
Okay.
So it's being you have already decided previously.
Yeah,
I've set
that
my
I'm going to
boundaries,
say
I've
no.
decided this. But now here, you're doing otherwise.
You're doing otherwise.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a
okay.
sign.
Yeah.
So
I'm
if you
really
catch
taking it
if you catch yourself doing the same things you had said no to, it's just
over
because
and over again, then you're really setting poor boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, that is really speaking also to me. Almost all these things I keep saying. Well, we learn every day. We learn,
Yeah.
we unlearn. So
Yeah.
there are things that I learned a few years ago. Now I'm unlearning, and we're on this journey together.
Yeah.
So don't be intimidated. Don't feel like, oh my God, for them they're up there. They know, sweetheart. Most of the time, not everyone knows exactly what they're doing. Like
we're all
honestly,
figuring out
we're
this
also
thing.
figuring it out. Life is lifing. Things keep happening
Yeah.
every now and then. Today you feel like
Yeah.
you have set your things so well. Then boom, something
Boom.
hits and
Yeah.
you're like. But you know what? Just sit back, relax. You are really, as long as you're trying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give yourself credit. Give
Uh-huh.
yourself
Thank
credit.
you. That's the right point.
Do it, even if it's just 0.5%.
Yeah.
Just say, man, I did it.
Thank you.
Even if it's like in a quarter. We are now into the second quarter of the year.
Yes.
So if the first quarter you only said no once, still that's a big gap, because
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what,
yeah.
you said a no at least.
Yes, you
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
You started from somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for those points.
Not much.
You really gave us really good points. You guys, if you're out there and I don't know, for those people that are not learning things, I don't know what you're doing here, because here we are all about self-development. We want to be better people, you know. We are really trying our best to leave the old us behind and go forward with the new people that we are. So I hope you're learning something out of this. I hope you guys love this video. For those of you that really recommended for self-development videos, I hope this is one that you will take on for life. Yeah, God willing. Yeah. Make sure you check out elevation chapters. Yes, Elevation Chapters YouTube channel for more of this content. If you're still struggling with elevating yourself, leveling up in your journey, in whatever age you are, she is there. She has amazing, amazing content that you don't want to miss out on your journey to self development.
Sure.
Yes. So until
Thank
next
you.
time, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being here.
Thank you too.
Thank you
Thank
so, so, so much.
you.
Thank you so much for teaching me so many things. I think I'm going to be in your DMs like, oh my god, I think I did.
I better start
Yeah.
writing my invoices then.
Oh yes, you need to. So yeah, guys, until next time, I hope you guys really love this and ciao ciao.
Bye bye.